More fun to watch than a Matt Canada-coached offense, this is the World Ninja League Premier Series Finals, live from Ferox Ninja Park in Brooklyn, New York. Hi again, everyone. I'm Alex Cunningham alongside Jack Anderson. Jack, first things first, you have to be thrilled for your fellow Australian Kari Whitby already bringing a title home to the land down under.
Oh, that's absolutely right, Alex. One of the things that I love about this competition is we are getting a diverse set of candidates from all parts of the world, and to have an Australian take home a title is just fantastic news for me. And to know that we have another Australian here in the team female lineup is equally as exciting for me. Millie Baker, going to be one to watch here, Alex, and just in amongst this stacked lineup, it's really going to be impossible to tell who's going to take out the title here today.
Two of them, in fact. You got Zoe Harkness as well. So you got two shots in this team female division. We have 14 athletes in this division. They are all super talented, and we're looking forward to seeing the first teen athletes give this course a go.
That's absolutely right, Alex. I mean, we've seen competitors from all across the globe come here today. We can see a few competitors from Israel stepping up to the plates. We've got competitors from Europe and the UK, and then, of course, the US just kind of dominating the lineup at the moment. But we'll see what ends up holding in this competition today. Anything can happen, Alex. And I think it's, if possible, we'll move on to the competition format for today. It's the one that we've been following, Alex, over the last couple of months here today. It's been such a great, innovative format that we've all come to love. So, of course, we start with the placement course. This is arguably so important for these competitors. It's that traditional flow format course. You fall and your run is over. But it is a shorter course, and therefore they will be pushed for their speed. And what will happen is, based on the speed in which they complete the course, it will determine their order for the challenge course. And Alex, I might leave that one to you to explain.
Fair enough. On the challenge course, 9 very intense obstacles. A lot of them very draining on the upper body and the grip. You are allowed 2 retries on that course. Can't use both retries on the same obstacle. And it'll be the order of the challenge course that determines who is our Premier Series champion in the team female division.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I guess in the past we've been looking for the top 4, but now we're just looking for the top 1. We're looking for those podium finishes, and that's all going to be on our minds today. And I think what makes today so unique, Alex, is it's the best of the best. We saw the best of the best in the past, but now we're really just bringing together the absolute top-notch ninjas, and I'm really excited to see them take to this course.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's meet a few of them now. Starting off with Kara McCarthy, Crazy Kara they call her. She was the first ever teen female Premier Series qualifier winner, having won the competition here at Ferox, made it deep into stage 2 at the World Championship as well. And we can see an impressive resume already for this young woman. Yeah, hoping to make it 2 for 2 at Ferox. Sorry, go ahead, Jack.
I was just going to say, you can see from the clips here, she's got flow, she's got technique, she's got tech, and everything in between, and it's really exciting to see, Alex.
Danielle McDonald out of Ninja Fit Atlanta won the competition down at Motive. Also made it deep into stage 1, 4-time finalist, as well as the top point getter in the Southeast a season ago. Definitely has a lot of the flying ability and the power, as we can see from that warped wall run, required for this very technical challenge course. Kalina Keating won the competition up at Life Force. We saw her sister Amelia run earlier this weekend. Ninja definitely in that family. And, I mean, such a fun competition at Life Force that was. She has been part of the Life Force family for over 4 years now. Excuse me, I need to learn how to do math. And I'm going to let you take this one, Jack.
Yeah, I have to take this one out because this is Millie Baker coming from the compound in Australia. Just has so many qualifications to her name. Qualified in the Perth competition, flying from Melbourne to make her way there. So you know she means business. She has an endless list of Instagram-worthy clips right there in front of you here today. And genuinely, as an Australian, I'm going to be rooting for her here today because she's going to be one to be watching and a force to be reckoned with. And one thing that she is going for is just that constant flow state, which is what the the US competitors are traditionally known for and have up on the Australians. But Alex, we've highlighted a couple ninjas here, but I mean, we've got 14 of the best team female athletes in the world all here today. And I think what we've learned over the qualifiers is that anyone can take out that top spot. And truthfully today, it really is anyone's for the taking.
For the record, one athlete that didn't get a video package because she finished second at Ferox, Corinne Capriati, the two-time world champion, if I'm not mistaken, one of the very first two-time world champions. We've had a couple others in years that have followed, 2018 and 2020, coming out of the Gravity Forge. She has moved up to the elite division this year. This is based on their season 8 age groups, so we are going to see a couple athletes that have moved up either to younger adults or elites today. And for Corinne, it's going exactly as you would expect, which is really good for Corinne.
Yeah, I mean, just hearing the fact that she's won 2 world championships and she's stepping up into the elite divisions, that to me is a very scary prospect for the other competitors, because not only does she just have that phenomenal resume, she knows how to go deep into some of the most difficult courses on the planet, but she's now looking to step up into the elite division. So hopefully the teen female division is just one little stepping stone in her journey towards being in that elite level competition. So Corinne's definitely going to be one to watch here. Of course, we've got some of our Israeli competitors, Laya Gross and Shira Fogel. And of course, we've got Zoe Harkness from Australia. These individuals have made the trip out to the US, to Brooklyn, New York. Some of us, I guess, would be flying for up to 20 hours to be there. So I think if you're here on the day, you know you mean business if you're making that kind of trip out.
And for Zoe and Millie, this is the second time this year they've come out here to the States, having competed, both of them at the World Championship. So super dedicated athletes, both of them actually multiple-time World Championship competitors.
Absolutely. And Alex, as we just wait for the starting line, one thing I'm really curious about as we ease into this placement course is how pivotal has it been for our athletes so far?
It's been pretty pivotal. We've definitely seen athletes come from the middle of the run order to win and ended up, just because they put up really strong times and left really high bars for their fellow competitors. But we have seen a couple of runners at the very end of the lineup winning as well. So it is important because you get to know what you need to do, as Emily Fisher is going to be our first competitor. That teeter-totter has had a rail added to it since we saw it yesterday. Emily coming out of Ninja Fit Atlanta, which is actually one of our sponsors, a great facility down there in Georgia. Of course, the Georgia ninja scene really popping off lately. I believe Henry Katrick, one of their head coaches, definitely do go give Ninja Fit a go if you're down in Atlanta. But Emily has given this course a go and is making very good work of it.
Yeah, absolutely. She's setting the tone for the other runners. It's always a tough break going first off, but Emily is doing fantastic so far, attacking it with good pace, but also a decent amount of flow here, which is what we love to see. She's very consistent as an athlete. This is a bit of a flowy part of this placement course, and we love to see it. It's Run With Your Hands Part 2, and it truly is. We're going to have to see Emily here really pushing the time. As she's got 8 seconds on the clock, you can see her picking up the pace here, Alex.
Gotta move, gotta get right off of this chug hold. I think she's gonna do it, she is. And we get this division started off with a bang. Emily Fisher clearing with less than a second to spare.
You can just see the exhaustion on her face there. She wasn't sure, but she is now can celebrate there. Alex, we love to see a buzzer beater. We've seen them all throughout this season, and now just to have one in the finals is always a great feeling. And Emily's going to carry that forward. It's going to leave her well placed, that is for sure.
Emily came in second at Motive, went out on the next last obstacle of stage 2 at the World Championship, which is the same result that our next competitor had at the World Championship. It's Charlotte Flood, coming out of Stanford Ninja Academy. Also a very strong OCR runner, finishing on the podium in her age group at the OCR Championship.
It's always great to hear when people are doing well in OCR, because one thing it means is they've got a great deal of stamina, and that plays in these longer style course formats, which is what we're seeing in these finals here today. And really exciting to see that she qualified 4th at Ferox and has come all the way down here, dedicating herself to this competition here, Charlotte. looking ready to take to the stands. And I just love the intro setting. It definitely has this really professional vibe, and it's great to see.
Shout out Brian Wilczewski, by the way, for making that shield up at the top super cool. I'm glad that came out as well as it did. Charlotte working on the run obstacle. It's humbled a couple people so far this weekend, so not an obstacle that you can really take for granted.
Absolutely. Charlotte has just seen Emily be pushed for time here, and she's now aware that she's going to really have to put on the burners if she wants to finish this course. But this is at a great pace so far as she goes into no running here. Looking for that dismount.
She's got it. I think that dismount might have been pulled a little bit closer for our teen athletes. We've seen a couple athletes so far this weekend come up short on that. Made it through the dominoes, and now onto the Lachey lane. Last obstacle, run with your hands, part 2.
This is, I have to say, when I saw this the other day, this has to be one of my favorite obstacles, both on the challenge and the placement course. The opportunity for flow here is just exceptional, and I think we're really going to see athletes take full advantage of this as Charlotte is gearing up here with 7 seconds on the clock here.
Same as Emily.
Using the flow.
Needs to get to that buzzer, and we're going to have 2 buzzer beaters in a row. I think Charlotte is going to clear yes with 108.9, just a little bit ahead of Emily. And these athletes cutting it close so far.
They are. They're keeping it entertaining for us, Alex. This is phenomenal here. 2 buzzer beaters back to back. And she looks super calm. She looks satisfied with that result. She expected it. And it's going to be great to see her on the challenge course. Not sure where it's going to place her. We've seen 2 finishes so far. And of course, with this caliber of athletes, I guess that's what you've got to expect at this point.
Completely agree. Well, we've seen Emily Fisher, who was in 2nd place at Motive just a moment ago. Now we're going to see Danielle McDonald, who was number 1 at Motive. 4-time finalist at Worlds, coming out of Kennesaw, Georgia. This is her first season that she just completed in the Team Female division. Currently on her 2nd in Season 9, the regular season that's currently ongoing. Steady approach here on that pole.
And it's always great to...
So go ahead.
So I was just going to say, it's always great to see when she comes number 1 in her qualifier at Motive Ninja. That is always a really good sign to see. When you're number 1, it means that you've really solidified your spot in this competition here. And Danielle's looking really strong so far.
Sizing up that dismount. I'm starting to notice, by the way, those rings are going quite a bit slower for the women. I feel like the men just have the ability to shimmy across those bars, whereas the women have to use the rings. I feel like that's causing this course to be a little bit slower and more methodical.
Well, absolutely. Danielle coming into this final obstacle with 19 seconds left on the clock, Alex.
It's coming down to the wire again.
Yeah, this is literally going to come down to the wire once again here. Danielle McDonald really fighting here. She can see the buzzer. She can see the red lights. Is she going to make it in on the time limit?
It's going to be close again, but she peeled on the bowl. Isn't going to make it. She's disappointed. But on the bright side, making it deep into this course very well could put her in good position to run the challenge course. And as we all know, scores get white when we get to that challenge course. So if she's disappointed, she needs to get it out of her head.
That's absolutely right, Alex. And as you mentioned, we've seen people in the middle of the pack come back and take all-out glory. We've seen it time after time over these last few months. So Danielle can definitely pull it back there, and we're going to have our fingers crossed for her.
Well, next up, it looks like we got Zoe Harkness.
Well, I'm excited here. Love to see the Australian representation. It takes a very long time for these candidates to fly out to New York to compete in this competition, and I know that they've been really enjoying themselves whilst in the US, and now to have this opportunity, Zoe is going to take full advantage of this. Of course, qualified in the 3rd place position in Perth, a phenomenal athlete, has the grip strength, has the flow here, has a 3.5 meter lâché to her name, and came 33rd at the Worlds in 2023. So a fantastic resume here. Can the Australian take it home? We will find out.
She was 3rd in Perth, finished on the podium. And now much easier working her way through those monkey bars. Oh, careful though.
A close call there. But recovered well. See her representing the Compound, one of the hallmark gyms in Australia. They're known for being very flowy as ninjas, and I think that really plays into something like this final obstacle, which is Lachey Lane here. Just such an awesome obstacle.
That's a Melbourne area, is it not?
It is. It is in the Melbourne area. It's probably the dominant gym and probably the best of the best to train out of there. So for Zoe to be in amongst the top Australian athletes, it's very clear that this is playing
Oh my
to her
gosh,
strength.
she's blazing
She's
through
coming
this.
through
This
with
one
a
is not a
fast
buzzer
time.
beater, even if the lights go off. 101.
Alex, I said she had flow behind her, and she nailed that Lachey Lane, just saving so much time there on that final obstacle, and such a comfortable clear, really setting the standard for these other athletes.
By the way, shout out Darren Baker, an accomplished athlete in his own right. Just missed out on qualifying for the amateur event. Still coming out here to support the Australian athletes, running chalk for them.
Of course, well, he's got his daughter Millie Baker stepping up to the platform very soon, but I'm also excited to see the Israeli athletes take to the stands. We've got one coming up right now.
Ronnie Jelinek is going to be our next competitor. We've obviously seen a number of Israeli athletes compete at a high level. I'm going to say it every wave. Hilag Gilboa taking home the Premier Series championship, and I think she might have touched down on something. The lights have gone red. She's still going.
She is still going.
All right, well, let's keep calling her run, I guess, on the launch coaster, needing to get a pull back there on that trapeze, makes the dismount.
Yeah, we'll keep that one
and
posted.
I think
we'll see
they have... No, she's still going.
I love that from her going into Lachey Lane now. You can see her in the left half of the screen.
Now they have
you
stopped
can see
her.
her now dropping.
I wonder if maybe that's a language barrier, not familiar with the lights going red, but they were eventually able to call her over. They marked her going out on the...
Yeah, I think it's just the adrenaline. When you've got all the adrenaline going, you just don't notice small things that happen, and even something like red lights, it's not going to distract you from that course. But yeah, just clearly a small slip up, and hopefully Ronnie can pull it back in the next challenge course when it really matters.
We saw that happen to Dion Trigg in our most recent wave. The amateur males went out on the first obstacle, came in with a very strong run on the challenge course. Hopefully Ronnie will do the same.
And we have seen that in previous qualifiers, really top-level athletes just making that early mistake and then coming back in the challenge course and blitzing it. So anything can happen here. But yeah, just a little bit of an upset there. Just in this top level, you don't... I guess it's not as common for these athletes to make these mistakes, but it does happen from time to time, even to the best of the best. And what we're excited to see is just these Israeli athletes really take to the stands. I mean, Ronnie was first place in the amateur division for the Israel Ninja League. But now we're going to move on to Cara McCarthy, age 13. And we're going to keep ourselves going forward. Qualified first at Ferox, so you know she means business here. 21st at the World Championships, making it to stage 2, but coming out after that. Anyone that makes it to stage 2 is a force to be reckoned with here. And Cara is going for that top time that's currently being set by Zoe from Australia. She's got to get around a minute on the clock to beat the top time at the moment. And she's on pace.
She certainly is, making it to the last obstacle with 37 seconds to spare. Coming out of Jimja Warrior in Maynard. Jimja Warrior, a franchise with 4 facilities in the World Ninja League. Always great to have the Jimja team here. Sure, Mary would be saying nice things about them if she were here.
Well, Cara, Alex, this could be the time because she's not only been moving fast through the first half of the course, but she has great flow here through Lachey Lane.
Beautiful.
Making that look easy.
56 seconds. Tremendous
Rushing
stuff
it.
by Cara. Great stuff. Easily in first place. That is going to be the benchmark for our second half of competitors.
Yeah, I think it really just... We got distracted there, Alex, at how fast she was moving. She made that look way too easy, that course. And Cara is just going to be someone to watch all throughout today. really solidifying herself in that top spot, 5 seconds ahead of Zoe Harkins, which we thought was a phenomenal time when she completed that one. So let's see how far we can push it down. 6 athletes have gone, 8 to go. And now that they know the standard, they know the beta for dealing with that lache lane, it's going to be really exciting. I think we're going to see people potentially push down the time even further.
Leah Gross will be our next athlete. Number 3 in the Israel Ninja League. 2 years running, it appears. Coming out of Country Ninja. Says she practices every day.
We love to see that, and we love the dedication. That was a close call, at least from my angle, but it looks like we're not going to see her out on the first obstacle, which is fantastic. Of course, we know Israel takes the Ninja Warrior scene very seriously. They're all such dedicated and phenomenal athletes, and it's really great to see them here out on the course, setting dominant times here as Leah just goes after this course. She now knows the time she has to beat, and with 30 seconds on the clock, she's going to be pushed for completion here, Alex.
All of those bars on obstacle 2 are in play for the record, so her run's still active. Careful on the dominoes, as the name of the obstacle implies. And now, what I would argue is the worst name for a mixtape I've ever heard, Run But With Your Hands, Part 2.
We've got 7 seconds on the clock here. You can see the buzzer going, and this doesn't look like it's going to be a completion, Alex. But Leah throwing down a great run here. And, just all-round phenomenal, demonstrating how difficult this course is. It looked like a really consistent run, but just small, slower movements just cost her in the long term.
Yeah, she definitely took a more cautious approach, and with the very long time limits of the challenge course, I think the challenge course is probably going to be a course that suits her a little better. We've seen that be a general trend of the Israeli athletes. They have been a little bit more cautious on the placement course, finished a little bit lower down on the board, and then really made up for it with spectacular performance after spectacular performance on the challenge course, and then ending up finishing much higher in the final standings. We will see if that trend continues in this division. And here she is, Jack, Millie Baker.
Yeah, one of our international athletes coming from Australia in Victoria. We have 2 Australians in this teen female division. And Millie placed first in the qualifier in Perth, Western Australia, flying out to compete. She means business. Her father, Darren Baker, there by her side, supporting her through this competition. Now just trying to find a bit of momentum here. Just a little bit awkward, but we can see the flow here, Alex, coming into full effect.
And Millie, sponsored by Aussie Grip, a great hold manufacturer down in Australia. I am fairly certain they have American shipping. I think I've seen some Aussie Grip holds be used in some of these American competitions, and so great that these athletes are starting to get sponsorships, making the cost of travel and signing up for competitions a little bit easier.
No, it's really exciting. I mean, Aussie Grip's the hallmark for us. They just make the hardest grips for anyone to grab. And we can see why this is paying off, Alex. This could be our top time here.
They call her the Flow Ninja. She showed why with the new fastest time, 53 seconds.
Oh, absolutely. And look, we got to pay that to her dedication, her training. Just has a phenomenal resume all around. And she's going to be one to watch. We just saw Kari Whitby take out the amateur female division. Could Millie Baker be the next to take out the teen female division? We have so many phenomenal athletes to come that to me was a run worth celebrating and one to watch.
I almost feel like she was kind of disappointed at first until she looked at the clock.
She always wants to go faster.
As does everybody.
Yeah, it's the ninja curse. Just always can do a little bit better. Well, Alex, we can see the run order here. We have had buzzer beaters, and now we're just getting time dominations. And that's what we love to see as we move into these later seeded athletes. And I'm not sure who we have next, but I know Corinne Capriotti is in the mix. So when we have her up, it's going to be that's going to be interesting. I think she's going to throw down the gauntlet. She's just seen an incredible time, but yeah, Corinne's going to know what to line up against.
Corinne, number 1 in the power rankings, a multiple-time Stage 3 athlete, 2 world championships, an unfortunate exit this year at the end of stage 1, but like we mentioned, she has moved up to elites. And she's also sponsored by Pop and Hold. Now, based on the logo, I was thinking it was like some kind of like the thing you put on the back of your phone, or perhaps like a bubblegum company. No, it's a custom Ninja Hold maker. Apparently, you send them a design, they do some kind of wood cutting magic, and you have your own custom hold. Very cool. Go check them out.
Alex, this is scary. Corinne is moving so quickly through this course. This is a bit ridiculous.
Corinne doing Corinne things.
Yeah, just throwing down such a dominant time here. I can't even... If she can get the flow rate here, this could be phenomenal.
She got a little hung up on that ring, making her way through. She was the number 2 qualifier here at Ferox, but won the placement course. In doing so, I think Millie's time might have... No, Millie's time is not passed. What am I saying? That's a sub 50. 49 and a half.
Corinne throwing down a phenomenal run there. And we've got to attribute it to how she attacked the first half of the course. She lost a bit of time in the Lachey lane, just having a bit of awkward momentum here and there that cost her. But, I mean, she moved through that first half so quickly. And you've said it, she's a 2-time world championship. She's moving up into the elites next year. So Corinne's going to be a scary, fierce competitor, and she's proving why she's here to win.
I feel like with 3 competitors left, there's still room for a sub 45 if anyone really puts their foot to the pedal.
And look, we've been surprised time after time. I remember in some of the qualifiers so far, we've seen sub 30s, we've seen sub 25s, and anything is possible here today as we gear up for our next athlete. Again, just seeing this opening style for this event, you just got to see it on camera there. It's so exciting for me just to see that for the athletes, just that incredible intro. But we get to take a look at the standings once again. You can see the diversity of candidates here today. We've got Corinne Capriotti on first place, Millie Baker not trailing too far behind. Perhaps just Corinne having that little bit of an advantage, knowing how fast she had to go. Cara McCarthy, Zoe Harkness in our top 4 spots at the moment. And but really, anything can happen here. We've had 9 athletes go through, and we've got 3 more to go, I believe.
That's right. We had a bit of a miscount, I think. A couple athletes might have been sorted into the wrong division when I did my automated run order. I have like a PowerPoint presentation that I make for all of the commentators so that we have all of the athlete bios and some basic stats on the competitors. And I think when I ran, a couple competitors might have accidentally got put in this division. So we've moved them around. 12 will be the final number in this division, barring a very late entry.
Well, I've just got to say, how cool has this event been so far? I've been fortunate enough to have catched a few bit of the divisions over the weekend, but getting to really come to see this competition in person, this is so special, Alex. It really is only the top-notch athletes coming together. They've all had to fight so hard for their spot here today. And just to be able to come here to celebrate with the top-level competitors, it's just such a beautiful event in my view.
It has been a lot of fun, to be sure. So many divisions have come down to the wire. Incredible moment after incredible moment. We really need to completely rewrite that top 5 moment countdown that we had at the beginning of the weekend that we had on the pregame show, which was also so fun to see. Really, I mean, I am speaking kind of in the third person about my own employer, but it's so fun to see us kind of change the game in terms of how these events are broadcasted and getting, you know, the highest quality of attention for these athletes, getting them more sponsorships, getting them the cash prizes this weekend, and of course just that visibility to put themselves on the map.
Absolutely. I loved the pre-game show. Getting to look at the course gave me goosebumps, particularly just looking at that elite course. And for everyone tuning in, we've got the teen females, we've got the teen males, and then of course we've got the elites, where we're going to be stepping up the competition to a level that is quite hard to fathom at the moment. When I was looking at that course, my mind was blown at how difficult it was, and I just can't wait to see people try and tackle it.
Yeah, I mean, some of the moves in that elite course are things that we really have never seen before, and that is exactly the kind of quality of course I wanted to see from this Premier Series finals. Last time we were here, there were 17 elite male competitors, and 13 of them cleared. Ramses Valdez and Zach Eichenstein took that personally. They built a brutal course. We have seen multiple divisions, even male divisions, finish without a finisher. And this is just such a brutal
It's
course
going to
that
be
they have
stacked.
constructed. Seeing the best in the world, both on the men's and women's side, taking on these insane obstacles they've thought up. As we take a quick look at
Oh,
some of the obstacles, that board drop is going to
it's
become essentially a throwback move.
Alex. I was just looking at the stats. So we've got 21 elite male competitors. I think that's enough to get us a clear there. I think enough beta will be broken to be
Oh,
able
for
to
sure.
do that. But I was showing my friends from Australia, like all the ninjas from Australia, this course. I was sending it to them, and they couldn't believe that this existed. They were like, "How is this possible that people can string together these 9 obstacles?" And I think listening to Lucio in the pre-game show talk about how he doesn't even know if it's possible, and he hopes that the athletes prove him wrong. That's what we love to see. Honestly, that's the kind of course you want, and I think the course designers have just crushed it throughout this Premier Series, but this has to be the pinnacle.
Yeah, this course is nuts. I feel like there's kind of a trend every season of, one obstacle showing up in every competition. As we take a look here at the marble run, I believe the
Oh,
stopper is going to be gone for the elite division. And
yeah,
then you have to do the Superman move.
it's such a cool thing to see. And to hear that the course testers were struggling on this course as well, that's what you love to hear, to be honest, just because you know that you really have to be the best in the world to complete it.
We did have a little splice there. For those wondering,
Yeah,
we do have a little bit of a stop down, and we'll be back to the teen female athletes in just a bit. We didn't forget about them. And then, of course, Little Ledges here has been brutal all weekend long, but even more brutal now when we consider that the vertical limits are going to be all that's in play.
it's not okay, Alex. It's not okay. They've just made it too hard. There's no rings. There's no forgiveness there. And I think once we get to the final obstacle, if it's going to show, that to me is just, I couldn't stop watching it. It was just the coolest thing to see all those rotations. But we can see here, before you can even get to the final obstacle, which just looks insane, you've got to be able to make your way through these cliff ledges. That it really blows my mind how easy this course tester makes it look. But you have to remember, he hasn't done 7 obstacles before it.
And with the lights and the pressure on, the clock
Oh yeah,
running.
and the first time touching it as well. First time on these obstacles, it's a completely different vibe. And I think it was Lucio that made a really good point, which is just how high off the ground they are. And for athletes that aren't familiar with being that high off the ground, it can be really intimidating. Oh, but Alex, this is just the best obstacle.
I was talking to Philip last night because he tried some of these obstacles yesterday.
Mm,
And you basically have to go first try on each of those 2 spinning discs, or else you're going to have
yeah,
no momentum.
yeah, and you can just see him celebrating there because odds are it took him an attempt or two to actually to get that one on over the line. Yeah, it's such a technical move, and I'm curious as to how much of a lip there is on those discs as well because it doesn't look very forgiving.
None. There isn't one.
That's what I was trying to analyze. I was trying to analyze it with the Australians. We were looking at it and trying to gauge how difficult that was. But Alex, bringing our attention back to the teen female division, what a ride it's been so far. We've just been having a few technical difficulties just fixing up some of the trusses here, but Corinne Capriotti's name is still there, but she, of course, is our top-seeded competitor at the moment. We've got Grace Carr. We've got another Israeli competitor, Shira Fogel, which is really exciting to see. And then, of course, Kalina Keating, another phenomenal athlete. So it's going to be really great to see these guys take to the course. And yeah, I just have goosebumps about what is about to happen over the next 5, 6, 7 hours.
Yeah, it looks like there's an issue with that obstacle number 3 that they're replacing a belay, we've been told. So why don't we take a moment now to thank all of those that have made this premiere series possible.
Absolutely.
Starting with our great friends at NinjaWorks, the ultimate in ninja timing systems. We've already seen the lights and the smoke and the buzzers all weekend long. You can have those in your gym too. Also clocks, all kinds of good stuff. So for all of your ninja timing needs, go to ninjaworks.com.
That's absolutely right. And if we can get up some of these videos, I've just got to plug the slap chalks. Of course, one of our fellow ninjas in the Ninja Warrior community has come up with an incredible innovation and one of the best advertising campaigns I've seen in a minute. So we're just going to play that video for you all now.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my chalk bag? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slap chalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in the mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slap chalks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women of diverse backgrounds. I'm Joseph Rao, Ninja Warrior, rock climber, and the CEO of Slap Chalks.
Our thanks to Joseph Rouse and Slap Chalks. And we also need to shout out one of the great obstacle manufacturers in our sport, DGS, Deary's Gymnastics Supply, a longtime partner of ours here at the World Ninja League, the official obstacle maker of the World Championship, and we're already getting in talks with them about some pretty cool obstacles that I cannot spoil for you, but it's going to be a lot of fun to watch the athletes. I am going to cut off my ad read there because we are told that we are ready to go, and it looks like we have Grace Carr on the start line.
Yeah, it's really exciting to be kicking back into things, of course, just being able to pay a nod to the sponsors in the meantime. They are just all so phenomenal to help us through and to make all this a possibility. It's truthfully such a collective effort to bring together this phenomenal competition here today. And look, we've had that little break, but hopefully it's just rebuilding our anticipation and appreciation for what we're witnessing right now. We have 3 more athletes to go on this placement course, and then we're going to be heading over to the challenge course. But these placements cannot be understated. We've got Corinne Capriotti at the top at the moment, and then Grace Carr, Shira Fogel, and Kalina Keating are going to be looking to take out that top spot because it is oh so important. You can see there the times once again. If you're roughly sub-minute, you will be in that top 4, and I think that will place you well in with the opportunity to take out the title.
Well, a strong showing of these of these teen women so far. 6 clears, a 2/3 clear rate. In fact, we had a couple buzzer beaters, a couple come up just short, and of course, those top 3 just tearing up the course sub-minutes.
Yeah, you know, you love to see athletes just dominate this course, but you also love to see a buzzer beater. For me, that was some of our favorite moments over this entire season of the Premier Series has come from just pure buzzer beaters where a matter of 0.1 seconds broke the gap and allowed them to finish that course. I remember we saw a completion with their foot in the elite male division from memory. That was always a really cool moment. So hopefully we'll see some of those in the challenge course as well. But yeah, as we come into these last 3 athletes, you know, it's just that expectation, Alex. Once they know that 49 seconds is the time to beat, they're really going to be pushing it.
All right, looks like we're going to continue that stop down actually, so I can go back to discussing our great friends at DGS. You might have been looking at the captain's wheels in the background in the warm-up rig. Ninjas have been using those quite a bit. In addition, they have made the board drop obstacle that has been causing our ninjas fits and is going to cause them even more fits once it's at its full strength later today, as well as those fidget spinners, a longtime classic. Of course, DGS, the longtime sponsor of our World Ninja League champion, Addie Herman. And if you need ninja obstacles or ninja rigs for your home rig, for your gym, wherever you need ninja obstacles, go to dgsninja.com. And I saw somebody in the chat is excited for Enzo Wilson to be running a little later today. We're going to take a look at Enzo right now as he presents Ocean Needs Everyone.
Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, CO and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Well, Alex, we love to see that from Enzo. We will see him take on the course later today, which kind of brings us into the stream times that we have coming up. Of course, we have the teen males at 3 p.m., which is going to be really exciting to see. Then the elite females at 6:30 p.m. And then finally, we're going to be closing it all out with the elite men from 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be phenomenal, to be truthful. We have 3 of the most competitive divisions coming up. We've still got content left in this female division. To be honest, we haven't even seen the half of it yet. So many exciting moments yet to come.
Yeah, I would imagine based on the obstacle malfunction that we just had, we might be running half an hour to an hour behind. So if you get on your stream time and it hasn't started yet, don't panic. We will be getting started as soon as we can, including right here in the teen female division. And now, at long last, after a lengthy ice, we're going to see Grace Carr coming out of Eastern Pennsylvania, trains at Next Level Ninja with Joe Capo and Abby Clark. Got some wrist tape going on. Hope that is all right. I think she might have just touched down. No, still going.
No, it looks like we're all good and we're off to the races here. Grace Carr, of course, when you've been iced on that just for those 15-20 minutes, it can either make or break your run here. Grace looking strong so far, but we know this clock is like really going to push her here. She's got good flow, and it's looking strong. It's hard to tell where this is going to place her and if this is going to be quick enough for a completion here. She's looking good so far, Alex.
Great dismount onto the dominoes. Hard to tell exactly how her pace is.
It's going to be close, that is for sure, but how her flow is on this Lachey lane is really what it's going to come down to. It makes or breaks runs, and just that awkward sideways momentum can throw people out here, but Grace looking strong so far, just really going for that big Lacheys.
She's going to beat the buzzer. Time of 1:02, our 7th finisher of this placement course. It is really coming down to speed and efficiency.
That's absolutely right. Grace Carr just has such a phenomenal resume coming into this competition, as do so many others. Top 6 in the WNL Worlds for 2022-2023, and we can see she has earned that 5th place spot. Very well placed, Alex. We've heard time and time again, middle of the pack competitors can come out and take that top spot in the challenge course because it's a completely different format. It's more strength-based. It's not necessarily about who can go the fastest all the time. So we'll see how Grace Carr fares on this course as we come into our last 2 competitors. It's really exciting that we're back up and running and that everything's moving smoothly once again. And we could just see there, I don't know if you noticed, Alex, we saw Zoe Harkness. Her run was under review, so that will be interesting. We will let you know the outcome. But in the meantime, we've got Shira Fogel. And, of course, coming out of Israel, qualified through Israel, 3rd in the Israel Championship for 2022, ranked number 4 in obstacles in the Israel League for 2023. So a phenomenal athlete with a great deal of experience. The Israeli competitors in the teen female division haven't had too much luck here on this placement course, but Shira is looking good so far.
Indeed, she is. Great power that she's shown so far. And although she could be going a little bit faster in the sprint kind of section, she is a long distance runner, so she has an engine. She just finished up her first half marathon.
That's incredible. You know, you love to see the diversity of these ninja athletes. They just have so much going for them at the moment. So many diverse sports. And with 15 seconds on the clock here, she's going to have to see if she has the endurance. This is going to be a buzzer beater potentially here, Alex. She's flowing through this course. The red lights are on. And it's going to be close.
Oh, no, she came up short.
No!
She came up short.
Came up short with a smile on her face.
At least laughing it off. One more look at her run.
Yeah, great spirited competitor there. You love to see it. Some people get really disheartened by that, but Shira just had a great smile on her face, and that shows a great deal about her character, to be truthful, and hopefully she's going to come in with that same positive attitude. We'll see where that places her. Not quite in the top 8.
Yeah, this has been a very difficult competition to score high on the leaderboard. Not that the course itself is particularly difficult, but the competition is just that stacked that you've got to fly. Really give this course 120%. As we get into our final competitor, Kalina Keating. We saw her sister Amelia yesterday. Let's see how Kalina does today.
Absolutely. Came 35th at Worlds, coming out on stage 1, unfortunately, but qualified 2nd at Life Force. So just a really dedicated ninja. She's been a fan of ninja since Life Force opened in September of 2019. So a dedicated ninja. And now just struggling to find momentum here, but she gets back on track.
For the record, she made it to the last obstacle of stage 1. Throwback was no joke. Moving on to the launch coaster. Good pullback.
Yeah, I remember her qualify at Life Force. She was really a force to be reckoned with. She showed not only that she has speed, but more importantly, that she can go the distance. And Kalina now lining up with 20 seconds on the clock. The question is here, Alex, does she have the flow to finish this in the next 15 seconds?
I'd like to see a little bit more aggression if she is going to get it. Inside of 10 seconds now.
Oh, it's just not going to cut the mustard here, Alex, unfortunately. And that is going to end Kalina's run. But again, just really positive and happy to be here, which is what you love to see. It's a stacked competition. She's here to compete, but she's also here to enjoy herself. And that's what we love to see.
I do like that the later on we get in terms of age groups, the more that they're able to kind of laugh off a performance that they may not be super happy with. And, the more positive attitude they have. We saw a couple athletes walk off the course really disappointed yesterday and then never got beat and wound up winning the championship. So you never know.
Yeah. No, it's exactly right. And I think what we've seen here over these teen female athletes is we've seen so many phenomenal runners, and we're definitely going to highlight some of these great runs. But also it's worth noting we saw some of our Israeli competitors come out very early, and only time will tell whether or not they're going to take out that top spot. But Alex, we've got to pay a nod to Corinne Capriotti. We've got to see that run again. 49.51 seconds.
Before we do, quickly, I just noticed that they have removed the 5th point from Zoe Harkness, taking her down to 4 points in 37 seconds.
That could be an interesting one.
We'll have to get confirmation on exactly what happened there, either touching something out of bounds or touching on the floor in front of the landing platform. We did just see that out of Shira a moment ago.
We're just getting a look at it now, I believe. I'm not sure if we're going to see the moment that she DQ'd there, but clearly there was some small mistake. Well, that's why we have incredible people reviewing all of these runs, making sure that they're well refereed. And 7th place from what I believe she was at 4th or maybe 5th place. It shouldn't affect her too much, Alex, but it does benefit her going later in the run order. So 7th, going to give her about 4 or 5 people to be able to watch.
Yeah, I'm sure a little bit annoying to move down a couple spots in the run order, but I would much rather do that on the placement course than in the challenge course.
Absolutely right. And Alex, I think it's time that we take a look at Corinne Capriotti's run. What do you say?
Let's do it. Oh, I see. So she apparently used her feet somewhere on that obstacle.
Okay.
I'm gonna try.
Must have been just an accidental touch there on Zoe Harkness's run there. Just small mistakes. It happens to every ninja, happens to the best of the best. But yeah, it just is what it is. She'll just have to take it on the chin, recover. As we now take a look at Corinne's run, our leading competitor here, just in front of Millie Baker, 4 seconds in front of the leading competitor. She dominated the first half of that course, was a little bit slower here on this Lachey lane, just struggling to find her momentum. But I think the fierceness at which she attacked that course was something really special. And I think when we compare that against someone like Millie Baker, it was just that level of fierceness that maybe just got her those extra few seconds. So Millie's going to have to take that one on the chin and really think that through if she's going to take out that top spot in the challenge course. But if we have the chance, we might look at her run as well, get some Australian representation in there. I'm getting very patriotic about Australia in this commentary today, but I've got a barrack for them. It's my nature.
You definitely have a right to. Quickly, before we take a look at Millie's run, I want to point out I figured out what happened with Zoe. I dug it back up on the live stream. So when she lacheyed up to that ring after the first bar, she kind of got caught and then kicked off of the first bar to get her momentum back in the right direction. That last obstacle is hands only. Kicking an obstacle is intentionally using your feet, therefore she was disqualified.
Well, it's a great pickup by our experts there, following her along and refereeing this course. It's a really fantastic part on our team, just to be able to pick those small things up and make sure it's a very fair competition, which is what we want at the end of the day.
Completely right. We do want the rules enforced evenly and fairly for everyone. As we now take a look at Millie Baker's run. Millie with such a strong performance, over 10 seconds faster than any of her fellow competitors at the time that she cleared.
Yeah, and I really think one thing that stood out was the flow that she had on the Lachey lane there. You can see Darren Baker, of course.
I love the dejected, oh, wait a minute, never mind, that was a really good time.
Yeah, that was a good time. She came to realize. Just looking at this lineup, again, it's phenomenal. We have 6 clears there. It might be worth taking a look at Cara McCarthy's run in 3rd place again. She threw down a great time before Millie and Corinne stepped up, and it really blew us away at how quickly she was moving through that course. .56.43 was the time that Cara threw down here. You can see her Ferox athlete, just such a dedicated ninja, so smooth. And again, Alex, had she kind of known the time that she had to get, odds are that she would have gone even faster.
Tremendous stuff by all of our teen girls so far. We will see them on the challenge course in just a moment, but one more opportunity to thank all of those that have made the World Ninja League Premier Series what it is today, including NinjaWorks, the ultimate in ninja timing systems for all your ninja timing needs. Check out ninjaworks.com. Thank you, as always, to NinjaWorks for powering the World Ninja League and the World Ninja League Premier Series. And, of course, another look at Slapshocks from Joseph Rouse.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my chalk bag? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slap chalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in the mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slap chalks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women of diverse backgrounds. I'm Joseph Rao, Ninja Warrior, Rock Climber, and the CEO of Slap Chalks.
We just love to see it, Alex. It's such a great invention here. And of course, we've got to pay a nod to DGS Ninja. Of course, our athlete sponsor for Addie Herman for 2023. There are opportunities for other athletes to be sponsored. It's really doing great for the sport. And of course, if you're looking for any Ninja Warrior obstacles, we've seen so many of them throughout this season, throughout our World Championships, Alex. And as you mentioned, we have so many incredible ones for 2024 season. So if you're looking for obstacles, if you're looking for athlete sponsorship and recognition, please hit up DGS Ninja or hit us up at the World Ninja League. We will help you accordingly to help get you a sponsorship. And of course, our final sponsor here, Ocean Needs Everyone. We've got to pay a nod to this incredible young man, Enzo, who will be on the course later today.
Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, CO and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
All right, welcome back to Fair Oaks Ninja Park in Brooklyn, where we are about to go into the challenge course here for the teen female division. We see our top 3 clears right there. Number 1 and number 2 from Fair Oaks qualifying, as well as number 1 from Australia qualifying. These 3 athletes threw down 3 sub-minute times. Just tremendous stuff.
Yeah, we can see a lot of ones across the board there. We've got Corinne Capriotti coming first in our placement course, throwing down the most dominant run so far, qualifying in 2nd place, and most importantly with a power rank of number 1. So you know that she means business. Millie Baker, coming out of Australia, placed 2nd in the placement course, qualifying 1st in this competition here today for the Perth, Australia competition. And then Cara McCarthy, 3rd in our placement course, power ranking of 21, and of course 1st in her qualifying at Fair Oaks. So it's really anyone's game here. There's a mixture of 1s and 2s and 3s all throughout these stats, Alex, and it's so cool to see this graphic put on display for us.
Yeah, great stuff put on by all the hardworking crew behind the scenes. A lot of these graphics by our creative director, Philip Scott, who's down on the floor here at Fair Oaks. Been doing a lot of social media stuff. He's the guy who hits the button to make the smoke go off.
Oh, we love to see it. And yeah, I just love those statistics. It's really, you've got Cara McCarthy. She's 3rd place in the placement course, but then beat Corinne Capriotti at the Fair Oaks qualifiers. So it is just this sense of rivalry that is going to be really cool to see here coming into play. And then, of course, I guess the dark horse here, Millie Baker, coming from Australia. And then beyond that, beyond these top 3, Alex, we've got another, 4 finishes on the course. And then just another 5 or 6 phenomenal athletes. And anything can happen on this challenge course. It's a different format.
Yeah, Kara actually went before Corinne, if memory serves, on that challenge course at Fair Oaks, where Kara was able to pick up the win.
Well, there it goes to show that, yeah, really anything can happen. The challenge course does present its own kind of format. And Alex, as we kind of just have this little moment, what have you found of being kind of the trouble points in previous divisions? What has been the obstacle that these ninjas need to look out for?
There's not a single obstacle on maybe the first obstacle. I don't think I've seen anyone fail the first obstacle yet. But there's not a single obstacle that can't humble you for the rest of the course. We've seen really high quality ninjas go out on just the 2nd and 3rd obstacles, and by go out, I mean their run was over. They used up both retries and were eliminated. And then the slogies is going to be a huge test of grip strength. We'll see how they're able to tackle the board drop, what configuration of that they're going to have to do. Same with the marble run. Everything on this course is difficult, but we're going to see Ronnie Jelinek tackle this course after an early mistake on the placement course. And one of the things I love about Premier Series is that we have the opportunity for athletes to redeem themselves if they go out early on the placement course.
Well, and I guess the benefit that Ronnie has is she is not tired because she did not need to use up much of her energy on the placement course if we are looking for a silver lining here. Coming into the flying bar in the later divisions.
Overshot it.
We're going to see, as you mentioned, Alex, anything can happen on this course. And this 3rd obstacle is a brutal one. The flying bar is no joke when you're under pressure.
By the way, it was pointed out to me, the lights at NinjaWorks now turn yellow when somebody is using their retry, kind of a warning light instead of the red for their run ending. So really cool addition there by NinjaWorks, one I did not notice as I am colorblind.
Well, we love to see it here. And you can see going right to the edge there, Ronnie just using that flying bar and doing super well here. And now moving into the Skyhook Chaos. That is the perfect name for this obstacle because it really is just chaos.
It has humbled so many competitors. And we are going to see Ronnie hopefully not be one of them. Oh, great save.
Yeah, we love to see the skyhooks there. And I love how some of them are angled down. It's such a great obstacle. Whoever designed that, just hats off to them. But now, as you said, the Slogies, I love that name for this obstacle. This is going to be a grip strength burner.
Her coach, Sol, is the head of the Israeli Ninja League. Of course, with our inability to host the Israeli qualifier that we had previously scheduled, we are really grateful to the Israeli Ninja League for all their support in funneling some of the best athletes.
Oh, no!
That's okay.
And that's
She still
going to end...
No, she's got one more.
True. Sorry, my mistake. She does have her second and final retry. I was not counting properly there.
It's all right. Counting to two is hard.
It is for commentators. That's what we're learning.
It really is, actually. Sometimes at home you're like, how do the commentators not know this? And then you commentate and you're like, oh, it's actually way more difficult than it looks. Speaking of more difficult than it looks, these slogies, which they look difficult to begin with.
But once you're on them, it's just it's hard to appreciate how difficult they are until the average person just gives them a go and just realizes how difficult they are to hold on to and how big those gaps are. Oh no!
Now Ronnie's run has ended at the hands of the slogies. I fear that will not be the last at the hands of the slogies. But on the bright side, very good save here. Great wherewithal to beat the flying bar in one go. These Israelis have had phenomenal bar tech, all of them. And then just that last slip there at the end of slogies.
Well, Ronnie throwing down a great first run. It is always difficult to be the first athlete onto this challenge course. It's no easy feat. You have no idea what the betas are. But she can be super proud of that. As we can see on the standings, we've got Leah Gross on next, another Israeli athlete. So it's going to be really exciting to see her stepping up. And as you mentioned, Alex, really great on the Israeli Ninja League for funneling the best athletes for us here today.
They may have placed early in the placement course, but these Israelis have been making up for it with strong challenge course runs. Let's see if Leah Gross can keep up that trend. She reaches the fidget spinners.
Absolutely. Leah ranked third in the Obstacle Israeli League for 2022 and 2023. So a very consistent athlete. She trains pretty much every single day now and has been training for more than 2 years. So has a great backing underneath her. And great to see her flying all the way out here, taking the time, taking the dedication to really make this competition count. And let's see how she goes on the flying bar. This is one of the toughest courses. Oh no! And that is going to be her...
She knows how hard she needs to throw now.
Yeah, and just as we saw with our previous competitor, sometimes just having that first attempt to really get your grounding is super important. But this flying bar it's no joke. It's a tricky one, Alex.
It really is. We saw some world champions go out here yesterday, and unfortunately, the same will be true of Leah Gross.
You just don't like to see it. You don't like to see these athletes coming out on a flying bar, but this is the best of the best, and we've got to demand the highest level for our athletes. And unfortunately, if your bar tech isn't there, if you cave under the pressure on the day, like we just saw there with Leah, it is what it is. But really great run all around. Hopefully she had a great weekend as we continue to move through these athletes. And this challenge course proves why it has the name challenge course.
Exactly right. This has been one of the hardest courses we've seen all season. A course perfectly suited to crown an international champion. As we've seen the top medal already go to 3 different countries. Kalina Keating looking to take another one home for the States.
Absolutely. Kalina qualified second at Life Force. Showed us that she has a great deal of grip strength and endurance. So we'll see her try and put that on display here on arguably one of the toughest courses we have seen in a long time. It's really exciting to see. Now coming into the flying bar, this has been a sticking point for the previous two competitors. They've both had to use retries on this obstacle. Will Kalina be the first to flash it?
Things looking good so far. There we go. Just needs
I was about to say the bar's pretty crooked, but she recovered perfectly there as Kalina looks for that dismount. Alex, we love to see it. She's got both retries in the bank as she moves on to Skyhook Chaos with good time on the clock.
Yeah, no kidding. Definitely time. Taking
Rethinking
a
her
second
approach
thought,
here.
going to switch hands.
Well, very self-aware, which is what we like to see from our ninjas. It'll be interesting to see the approach she takes. There's so many different avenues here. She's going for the one Skyhook and misses. And that's going to sync up her first retry. If she fails on this obstacle again, she will be out. But if she can complete it, she will get another retry on another obstacle. Let's see how she goes on Skyhook Chaos.
Clock, of course, pauses during all resets in the challenge course format. And I think she's going for the skip now. We've seen a lot of athletes do that skip. Thought better of it. And remember, you need to go immediately. No backswings allowed. Got to go right now! And she hung on a little too long.
And you can see her there with a smile on her face despite having the wind knocked out of her from that course. She's still happy, and at the end of the day, that's what we love to see, Alex.
Exactly right. Great attitude from Kalina. She has definitely shown her vibrant personality throughout this competition. Just a slip there.
Yeah.
And is able to laugh off what would otherwise be a pretty scary-looking dismount.
It did look scary, but to see her lying down with a smile on her face is what we love to see here. As we can see, our third and final Israeli athlete about to step up to the plate, Alex. It's really exciting to have this international representation on the global stage here today in this Premier Series finals. And Shira, of course, going the furthest out of our Israeli athletes here today, age 13 years old. Let's see how she fares on this challenge course. Furthest so far is obstacle 5, so she knows what she needs to beat.
Still no defeat of the Slogies.
Lining up the first obstacle, Shira placed 3rd in the Israeli Championship in 2022, ranked 4th in the Israeli League in 2023. Of course, Alex mentioned that she's already completed a half marathon recently, so just all round a diverse athlete with a lot of incredible talents, and she's putting them on a full display here.
And hopefully with a lot of stamina. By the way, I love the hand-over-hand technique that the Israeli athletes were doing on the spinning, or the fidget spinners. We'll talk a little bit more about that obstacle next time somebody's there, but in the meantime, Shira just burned up a retry on the flying bar.
Shira just lining it up for a second and final attempt on this obstacle here. We really want to see her through onto the back end of this course.
There we go, much better.
Can she stick the second rung? That is the question. Lining it up, just checking the bearings of the bar.
Jump! Overshot it.
Oh. You hate to see it, Alex, but the flying bar is taking out competitors left, right, and center. It's one thing to do it in training, it's another to do it under the pressure. Just the smallest of movements can cause the bar to just fall out of place. And again, as we've seen emphasized, when you're throwing the bar at that height, it can always be a scary prospect for athletes that aren't used to training that high up off the ground. And we're looking at our standings. We can see the completion of the first 4 obstacles in under 1:10 is going to secure you the top spot. We've got Ronnie Jelinek at the top spot at the moment. onto obstacle 5, of course, that grip intensive obstacle that I'm hoping that we're going to see athletes through. I'm really hoping that we can see a completion here.
We're definitely going to see some of these later athletes get pretty deep into this course. As we take a look at Danielle McDonald now. You mentioned earlier, won that competition at Motive to qualify here today.
Absolutely.
Just a bit short of the buzzer on the placement course.
Now coming up to the spinners, but not really obstacle. We can see the slogies in front of it as well. Obstacle that hopefully we're going to see some ninjas through.
And notice that they're chained together if you haven't noticed that yet. They have that strap attaching them both, and they sort of swing back and forth in tandem. And if you throw too hard, as a lot of the preteen males did yesterday, that second spinner is going to really spin out on you, and it's not going to be where you expect it. Unfortunately, Danielle, they're missing the flying bar. But on those spinners, you really have to come into it soft or just skip it altogether.
That's exactly right. You have to be precise there. I thought it was a unique addition, and it's definitely just making it that little bit harder for them. Now coming into the flying bar. It's just such a technical obstacle. Danielle getting it the second time. Can she get the second throw, though?
There we go.
She
Great.
does.
Really forcing it forward, kind of on a line drive, but on the second one, she got a little bit more of an arc. That got her where she needed to be. You see Henry Katrek on her sidelines. Henry performed very well earlier today in the amateur male division. Danielle looking to keep this fight alive. Ninja ATL. Also see her teammate Emily Fisher in just a little bit. She's trying to take that second ring with her, and we're seeing now why athletes have not been employing that strategy because of that downward sloped hook.
It is so slippery. It's a downward slope, but it also just slides so quickly, as we just saw there. The moment Danielle put a bit of pressure on that hook, it just slid straight off. So you have to take that skyhooks approach, which is why it's called skyhook chaos. And just learning that beta, all these later competitors are going to be knowing that Danielle has confirmed it. But can Danielle get it on her second attempt? This is her second and final retry here.
Oh, she got it!
She's going to go for it!
Whoa!
What did we just say? She's done it anyway.
That is a great save. And she stuck with the strategy that I said didn't work, and it worked. That's why I'm here in the booth and on the course.
Danielle has proven us all wrong, and definitely something that people can take to the books. We were doubting it, Alex, but yeah, what do we know? We're in the commentating booth. And as we say that, Slogies is going to take out another competitor here. Danielle throwing down a great run. It's going to put her into second place, I believe, using both of her attempts, and unfortunately just not having that extra one in the bank. We're going to see her hopefully just sticking that landing. Phenomenal.
It was exactly phenomenal. It was ultimately what she had to do to complete the obstacle that way. Great grip strength. It just kind of gave out there at the end of Slogies. It's hard to say. Zoe Harkness is going to be our next competitor.
Yeah, and we saw her have her previous placement run. She was roughly in, I believe, 5th place in the placement course. She had her run reviewed, and so now has to take that one on the chin as she steps up as our 7th seeded competitor. Zoe threw down a great run. Did get a completion, but unfortunately, due to a technical issue with her feet touching the obstacle 5, she now will be running 7th in the run order as Zoe takes to this course.
Zoe making a costume change at the start line onto the spinners. Very soft approach. That's exactly what you need to do there. Flying bar.
It's a staple in the Australian ninja diet, and it's clear that Zoe knows what she's doing here, making it very smooth, very strong so far. She placed 3rd in the Perth qualifier, 33rd at Worlds, of course, coming out on stage 1 at the final obstacle. Has a 3.5 meter lache, so just all round a great athlete. Let's see her take on Skyhook Chaos. Oh no!
Yeah, she's learning exactly how that downward slope feels, and so many athletes have needed to burn a retry there. just to get a feel out for that obstacle. And that is one of the benefits of this challenge course format, is that you can have obstacles like this that you really need a second attempt to be able to clear, or you can just skip
she's just going for it. It looks like she's gonna have a rethink. You can see on the sidelines there, she's getting support from Darren Baker, an Australian athlete. Great support there from her team. And now she's lining it up.
And it was the same result. Got a little bit too far of a pullback, and once she was going for that forward swing, it all came undone. That hook's just so slippery.
Yeah, and it's just showing how difficult these runners are really going to be tested throughout this course. We are only at obstacle 4. We are yet to see someone complete obstacle 5, and there are 9 obstacles on this course. Zoe threw down a great time to that point, but unfortunately just coming out there on the Skyhooks Chaos.
We will see if Millie can avenge her fellow Australian a little bit later on. But coming up next, Emily Fisher. She is sponsored by her home gym, Ninja Fit ATL. They have performed very well so far today, and they're, of course, one of our WNL affiliated facilities.
And we love to see that. We love to see the athletes getting support to get down here today to compete. And most importantly, it's worth noting, Alex, that Emily Fisher was our first runner in the placement course, and now finds herself seated 6th in this challenge course.
Didn't get enough.
And we just saw the fidget spinners getting the better of her there.
Didn't get enough of a kick off of that spinner. Gonna need to go for it again.
Yeah, it's as you said, Alex. If you throw too much there, it's going to throw out the other fidget spinner because they are attached. So Emily's going to have to readjust here.
There we go.
She gets it.
Just catching it by the fingertips. One
Yeah, I was
retry
worried
burn,
there.
that's okay, out of her head.
Hopefully not going to need it here on flying bar.
Oh! Catching the
about
back of
cutting
the
it
rung,
close.
able to save it.
Can she pull off this second grab? This is going to be phenomenal if she can. Just go shake it off and go for
I
it.
think there it is.
Wow. I mean, that bar was on its edge, but Emily Fisher throwing it down, doing a phenomenal job so far. One retry still left in the back pocket, but Skyhook's Chaos, Alex, is just a killer at the moment.
She goes on the jump, trying the same approach as her teammate Danielle. Didn't work the first time. Remember, for Danielle, she needed a second attempt to get that strategy. We'll see if she goes back to it.
It looked close, to be fair, but it is a lot of jolty momentum. It's throwing you out a whole lot of different ways, and when you haven't been on this obstacle before, it can spell disaster. It's going to be interesting to see what approach Emily now goes with.
Clock ticking down. Remember, that clock starts as soon as the obstacles reset. There is that kind of median hook there. Trying the strategy again, came up empty, and Emily Fisher is going to have a shocking exit at Skyhook Chaos. Chaos indeed.
Yeah, literally couldn't have said it better, Alex. That obstacle is leaving these competitors in a sense and in a state of chaos. It is truly just crushing these competitors left, right, and center. She almost got it on her first attempt. The second didn't quite go her way. And we are still yet to see anyone through obstacle 5, yet we have gone through 7 competitors. This challenge course is now eating up our team female division.
And we are now down to the final 5 runners, with no runners having completed 5 obstacles.
That is very true. And I believe Ronnie was our first competitor on this challenge course, if I'm not correct. So who knows? Who knows, Alex? This could still hold. 7 down, 5 to go. That run could potentially hold, but I really hope that we start to see competitors through to the later end of this course, because, yeah, having everyone go out on Skyhook's Chaos is not exactly what we are hoping for.
Charlotte Flood will be our next athlete out of Stamford, Connecticut.
Another buzzer beater that we saw earlier. She got a completion on the placement course, only just had about a second on the clock. Placed third place in the OCR Women's Championship. So really strong athlete, has the endurance, and is fourth place in the New England region. But coming out on spinners again, the fidget spinners, Alex.
She had her hands there, just couldn't hang on.
It is tough. This one is throwing out our ninjas. Again, as you mentioned, if you just have too much swing there, then you can't grab the second fidget spinner because that rope just throws everything out.
And she did it again! Oh my goodness!
Charlotte Flood is going to be out early. A shocking exit there. Not where she wanted to come out, but those fidget spinners proving that they are an obstacle to be reckoned with. I think maybe the second time it just got into her head, having that first fall, and the pressure of the competition as well.
And so with 4 runners to go, Ronnie Jellyneck, who was the first competitor, went out on the first obstacle of the placement course, which, I mean, let's be real, we can call it a fluke now.
Yeah.
Is in first place, guaranteed top 5. Huge redemption for her, but in the meantime, Grace Carr looking to be the first in this division to defeat the Slogies. But the obstacles before are just kind of proving to be cursed.
Yeah, they really are. We need someone just to send it, get through that, and then just enable the send train so that everyone can follow suit. That's what we're hoping for here. Grace Carr threw down a great run. We are really moving into the high caliber of athletes as we see she just skipped the second fidget spinner. Why risk it when you can skip it? Yeah, this is what we like to see, Alex. This is a great run so far by Grace, just flying through this course so far.
Flawless execution on the flying bar as well as on the spinners. We've seen a lot of athletes go for that skip, and I assume we're going to see more. And now Skyhook Chaos. It's been quite a while since we've seen somebody beat this. And Grace just went down on it as well.
But we want to see Grace through. She definitely has the fastest time to this point. And if she can get through Skyhooks, she will likely knock Ronnie off the top spot. But Alex, she's only got one more attempt.
And here it is. Thinking better of it. Really thinking about going for the skip. No, going underhand. Second attempt. Gotta go here. Got it.
Gets it.
We'll check her time as soon as she dismounts to see if she's in first place. Which I think she might be.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that would knock Ronnie off because Grace just was really fast through those first few obstacles. But she's going for that first place, so she wants to get through Slogies, get to the back end of this course. 2 minutes 30 on the clock. This is a tough obstacle, Alex.
Making her way through the Slogies.
This is the big grab.
And she's able to static it. Great move. Using that back cliff. And Grace Carr is the first
yes.
teen girl through the Slogies.
Oh, we love to see it. Finally, Alex, we have broken the curse. We are onto the back end of this course. And rightfully so, our fourth last seeded competitor, Grace, got a time of 57 seconds, I believe, in the placement course. So phenomenal athlete. And let's see now our first look at board drop for the teen females.
Had her hands on
and
it.
just coming short there. It was just the jolt, I believe. It's hard to tell there what quite caused that.
Yeah, I think the jolt, lactic acids, just didn't get a good grab on it. There's so much
Might
that
need a
could come
bigger
into
lash
there.
potentially. Just maybe a little bit more height on it so you can ease your way into the grab. But she knows what it feels like now. She knows what she's got to do as she lines up for her final attempt on any of the obstacles. She's used up both her retries.
There you go.
And she gets it.
Grace Carr making the catch on board drop, trying to reel in the platform. She does, and now she'll be the first teen to attempt the marble run.
And Alex, we've got to say, what we love about this retry format is that the competitors get multiple chances. runs can be finished early, but with these 2 retries, we're really seeing who is the strongest competitor here. Now, this has got to be one of my favorite obstacles.
First of all, I think this is the first time I've ever seen a coach climb truss to get to their athlete, as Joe Capo just did. Second, Grace makes this jump now up to the discus, catches the discus, has to reel in the platform, trying to scissor grab it. Now grabbing with her hands, pulling
really
up.
Close here. She is fighting for this.
This is tough to watch. No more retries.
No.
And she's grabbing the rope behind her. I do not know if that is in play.
I guess
think
it's hard to tell.
That it's in play to help you, like in case you're going to go over. So I would assume that this would be legal if she can get up there, but just doesn't have the gas.
Yeah, that lactic acid was coming through on obstacle 6. It looks like they're going to give her a fail for that obstacle, I believe, and
she never
leave her at completing board drop.
She never got to the platform.
But good news is that's going to place Grace Carr in the top spot at the moment. Far out. What a run, just all round. She was so strong off the bat. The first 3 obstacles were an absolute breeze where other competitors struggled. Coming into Skyhook, she used 1 attempt, but got it on her second go, which is really exciting to see. And then the Slogies, the obstacle that is taking out competitors and just seeing if they don't have the grip strength, if they don't have the static strength. And then, of course, our first look at the board drop.
She did need 2 attempts on that. She got everything on Marble Run except that grab to the platform. Tried to get creative, but just didn't have the gas. Might have even been disqualified for grabbing the rope. Hard to know. In any event, it is academic. Grace Carr in the lead by 2 obstacles, guaranteed a top 4. If there were Premier Series finals to qualify for, she'd have guaranteed that.
Unfortunately, there isn't. We're looking for podium finishes. We're looking for that top spot. Ronnie is going to be thrown out of first place, and will be interesting to see as we move into the 3 final competitors, the ones that we've been watching over the last 30 minutes or so. We've analyzed them pre-game. They're going to be the ones to watch here because they now know that they've got to complete at least 6 obstacles in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. But I think their minds are going to be setting on going for a course completion. Knowing that Corinne Capriotti is the final runner, I think you need a completion here, Alex.
And Kara McCarthy was the one individual in this division at Ferox previously that was able to complete the challenge course. I actually misspoke earlier, and I misremembered a little bit. On their placement course, Kara finished 3rd, which is exactly where she finished today, and Corinne finished in 4th. So just to correct myself on that, Corinne was able to scramble into 2nd on the challenge course. Not able to complete the entire course, but Kara was. This course significantly harder, though. Let's see what she's learned in the last 4 months.
Well, anything can happen over these next 3 events, these next 3 competitors, as Kara begins her assault on this course. Spinners, but not really. We've seen all different approaches here. This has proved to be a difficult one. She's going for the skip, and it's not going to happen. You can see those yellow lights.
Basically right there. I was almost wondering if she'd crossed the plane.
Yeah, it looked close, but the backward momentum got the better of her. She was going for pace here. Luckily, she hasn't lost too much time, just really kind of lost an attempt and maybe a little bit of confidence there.
Goes for the skip again, gets it. That was gutsy.
Yeah, we love to see it. She is going after it here. Flying bar. It's clear she's got the tech.
Great dismount. Moving on now to Skyhook Chaos.
Come on.
Now lining it up.
No.
Missing the hop. That's her last retry.
Yeah, sinking one early there on the fidget spinners could have been costly. As Skyhook Chaos has been the obstacle that has taken out so many ninjas. Kara, a phenomenal athlete. She can get through this, but can she do it under the pressure?
Here she goes, makes the hop.
Yes.
She's
And
gonna have
Alex,
to be
as
perfect
you've
from
mentioned,
here.
sometimes it just takes that first attempt to feel it out, and once you've felt it out, it makes all the difference. But now she's going to be going into all the other obstacles. She's got to get past obstacle 6 with no more retries in the bank. She's burned both of them. But luckily, she's got grip strength for days. This is the big one, though. This is a big transition.
Trying to switch
trying
up
to
her
figure
hand
it out.
placement. Making the reach cliff to cliff. It works. She flew through those first 3 onto the 4th, hanging onto the 5th. She's out of there, second today, or second in this division, I should say, to attempt board drop.
Kara has shown us that she's got insane levels of strength and grip strength. Great power to weight ratio. But yeah, as we saw with previous competitors, the gas can all go in the tank. And once it's gone, it's gone.
But on the bright side, Kara looked as if she still has plenty of gas. Nice jump here. Gets it on her first try. First in this division to one-shot the board drop. Only one other athlete has even gotten here. Marble run up next. Loads of time, but no retries.
You can see her just shaking out the arms there. It's indicative that perhaps the gas is running out. But does she have enough to get through obstacle 7? We've got our fingers crossed here. Big transition.
Oh,
and
doesn't
just can't stick it.
Doesn't get the bar centered. You can see the right cradle was spinning, the left was not, at least from her vantage point. From the viewer's vantage point, it would have been flipped. A tough break for Kara. Although, she did get there faster and is in first place.
It's very true. That moment to cheer her on as she begins her attack on this challenge course.
Great catch there. Yeah, it's what, 4 a.m. for you guys?
It is, and it's very exciting to be awake at this time and very worthwhile to see these Australian athletes take it on. She's got the flying bar in her arsenal. Can she do it under the pressure? She's looking good so far. Got Darren Baker on the sidelines, her father. Of course, they're responsible for bringing the Aussie grips all throughout these qualifiers. We've seen a few throughout the various qualifiers, just absolutely brutal Australian obstacles, but we love to see it.
Aussie Grips is the manufacturer of those infamous UFOs at the Modus placement course. Last obstacle of that placement course. Millie now on Skyhook Chaos. Unblemished so far, but this is where a lot of retries have been burned. Not for Millie, though, at least not on that jump.
Yeah, this is looking to be the first, potentially the first perfect run to this point from what I'm aware of. Now coming into slogies, this actually might play to her strengths here. If there's one thing that Australians are good at, it's grip strength. And I hope she's got it within her. I believe she will. She's shown us that she's a very strong athlete.
Well, here goes. 218 down to 215. Her way through the slogies. Not necessarily getting her entire hand on her first grab attempt, but then shimmying her hand over to a better position. And she's able to use that wingspan to static through, even when she only has a couple fingers on the cliff. She's 5 for 5 so far.
Yeah, this is looking super strong. And I think it's worth noting, just running through some of her stats here whilst we've got the moment. She has been to the World Championships for the WNL Worlds 3 times now. 2020, 2022, 2023. Came first on one of the tech skills events this year for the team female division. So just really great to see that international representation coming out here today. You can see the fingers slipping slightly. She's really having to fight here though, Alex. And the gas in the tank is going to be the question here.
Here's the jump. Got it! And incidentally, this is a slower time somehow than Kara. So Millie is currently going to put herself in second place, although she has 2 attempts here on the marble run.
Yeah, Kara, of course, didn't have 2 attempts here, and it did cost her as she made a mistake and wasn't able to learn from that. This is going to be close, Alex. This is what we like to see. Millie will need to complete this obstacle if she wants to be a first-seeded competitor, and that is what makes it all the more fun here. She gets the landing. Now needs to swing upwards.
Catches the discus, and we've seen this landing is not trivial. But Millie
Millie
makes it
gets
and
it.
moves into first place.
This is a great run here. 25 seconds on the clock. If she can get through little ledges here, this could solidify this first place. Going straight for a skip here. But on the cliff ledges, if you don't have the gas, you don't have the gas, but Millie's got it.
Oh my
I
goodness.
can't believe it. Alex, what is going on here?
Able to get to the final obstacle. She does not have time to complete it, but she was marked out on little ledges.
No.
I didn't see what happened.
Wait, what happened?
What a phenomenal effort there. I don't know if it can be completed in 10 seconds, though.
I know
She's going to have to go ridiculously fast.
Reaches out. Jumps. Ring.
This is gonna be
4
close.
seconds. Didn't get there in time.
Oh, so close. A nail biter. But she looks happy with that run. And that's going to put her into first place. And with Corinne Capriotti on her tail, she can at least confirm that that is our second best run of the day. With one runner to go, this is a nail biter, Alex. Who knows what's going to happen next? And it's so close. It's amazing to see that she had gas in the tank, even though it looked like she was fighting tooth and nail on those last few obstacles.
And I just checked the live stream. She tapped her foot down in front of the final landing platform. And I believe that review on Grace Carr is whether or not she was able to successfully defeat the 7th obstacle, unless there was something before that I don't know about. There's
Yes.
that
No,
weirdness
would
with
make
the
sense.
platform. In any event, Corinne Capriati knows that if she gets to the final obstacle, she will be the Premier Series champion and add
Absolutely
to her
right.
impressive resume. Only
She
one
does
person
have the resume.
in World Ninja League history has claimed 3 world championships. That's Oliver Luttman, who did it in back-to-back-to-back years. Corinne, though, hasn't tasted the top of the podium since February 2020. She'd love to do it here.
Well, it's very clear that she's a seasoned 2-time world champion. It's proving to be so. She came second in her Ferox qualifier just earlier, a few months ago. Has been doing Ninja for 6 years now. So, a seasoned competitor here. But Skyhook's Chaos is where it has come unstuck for other ninjas, not for Corinne Capriotti. She has dominated the placement course and now is moving through, chasing down Millie Baker's 7 obstacle completion.
Corinne lining up these slogies. Such a difficult obstacle, but our later competitors have been getting the hang of it.
Yeah, they do seem to have the strength within them. Corinne's
Also the
also got
wingspan.
that wingspan. Yeah, definitely. Looks like she's just lining up a dismount. Oh, I thought she was lining up.
Oh, she
slipped! Oh, no! Corinne Capriotti taking us by surprise here as she falls on the final slogie. That's going to play into her head potentially. It's a grip-intensive obstacle that's going to burn the forearms. So she's going to have to recover. And now this competition is getting heated.
Well, we know she still has the grip strength to be able to do it. She slipped again! And Millie Baker is Premier Series champion, taking the title home to Australia.
Corinne Capriotti throwing down the strongest run we have seen to the slogies, flying through skyhooks there. But unfortunately, it's just going to come out there on the slogies. And that's going to leave Millie Baker, an Australian competitor, to take out the teen female division, joining Kari Whitby as another Australian taking out the amateur females. What has gone on here, Alex? What a phenomenal effort and what an incredible competition that we have just seen.
If my math is correct, prior to this weekend, there were 3 international world champions in 8 seasons of the World Ninja League. We have had 3 in the last 5 divisions of Premier Series. Hila Gilboa taking one home to Israel, Kari Whitby and now Millie Baker taking it home to Australia. For those who have wondered why we changed our name in 2022 from the National Ninja League to the World Ninja League, this is your reason.
What, Alex, that was just a phenomenal competition all around. Such a nail-biter from the Team Female division. Over my months commentating this Premier Series, this has to be up there with one of my favorite divisions that I have seen so far. Corinne Capriotti taking us by surprise there. Millie Baker just, again, throwing down such strong runs, fighting tooth and nail, and showing us that she really deserved to take out that top spot. And then, of course, Cara McCarthy and Grace Carr will also be taking out podiums there. A great job on their part.
Let's take one more look at our champion, Millie Baker's run.
Ooh, we're just being told that Grace might edge her out.
Oh.
I
so
was
that
thinking
review
about
is
that.
the landing. And
Whether or not that
I don't
counts.
I don't think she ever crossed the plane. I think what they might call is that you have the 3 points of clearing are you have to physically touch the landing platform, which is impossible not to because it's the start of the next obstacle and also way far in the air. You have to wait.
She crossed the plane.
Because they're oh, you know what? This is going to the back of the rule book. This is going to the very dark recesses of the rule book, but I think this is a potential that they could call here.
Well,
There
talk
is a
about a
rule,
nail biter.
if I'm not mistaken, that... Oh, hang on. So she went... Okay, yeah. Here's the ruling. You have to touch the landing platform, which she did. You have to cross the front plane, which if you recall, she grabbed the rope behind her, which is across the front plane, even if it's under it. And you have to disengage the previous obstacle, which if that rope isn't part of the next obstacle, if that rope isn't part of the obstacle, then is it clear? Now, there is a rule in the rule book. It's about to decide a world championship. This is
Wow.
insanity.
Yeah, this is...
That if you are allowed, if a platform is also the start platform of the next obstacle, and we're taking a look here at what happened on this obstacle. If a finished platform is the start platform of the next obstacle, you're actually allowed to skip it and go directly to the next obstacle without rest. That was kind of a point of contention last season. I forget if that was... No, it was added last season, because I think in Season 7 there were a couple of instances where kids were going too fast. Now let's watch here. It's not here, because she's not past the front plane. Not yet. And obviously still holding on to the discus. So now she grabs it. She's very clearly not past the front plane. And then grabs the rope, which you can skip the platform technically, and right there crosses the platform. I saw 15 seconds on the clock, which with a 3:50 time limit is
I believe
not
that could
fast enough to bot Millie Baker. So I think Millie should still be fine, and I have just seen breaking news. She has been awarded the 7th clear, but in 3:34. So she will move into second place. Jack, you're still getting your medal going to Australia. Grace Carr on the technicality to end all technicalities. And as a WNL employee, I'm fearing that I'm going to have to explain that rule for the rest of my life. Moves into second place.
Well, I'm glad that we have you here, Alex, to explain that ruling, because I would have been completely lost if it was left in my hands. What a nail biter. I mean, we couldn't really ask for more. We could see the placement course standings there. Corinne Capriotti looking to be the dominant competitor. Millie Baker and Cara McCarthy, of course, actually taking out the podiums with Grace Carr. So just, yeah, that consistency does pay off, minus Corinne's unfortunate exit. we can see our top 4 became our top 3. And I love that Grace Carr managed to sneak her way into second place on a technicality. It's why we have rules.
It certainly is, and they're meant to be followed, or broken, as the case may be. Now, Grace, like we said, moves from third to second on what has essentially become our new tuck rule that I'm going to have to explain for the rest of my life. Millie Baker winning the second Premier Series championship for Australia after Kari Whitby earlier today. Jack, how proud of you are you of your fellow compatriot?
Oh, I have nothing but pride for the Australian community and for what they bring to this sport. I mean, not only is it an effort to come over here to compete against all the phenomenal US athletes who are just known for competing on flow-style courses, but also to fly for up to 20 hours, or at least in my place when I came over, it took me 20 hours to fly across. So from Melbourne, it would take something like 17 hours. The jet lag, dealing with any forms of sickness, or just the travel differences makes such a difference when competing in the US for these Australians. So just to come over there, to spend that time, to dedicate yourself to this sport, like Millie Baker has. She spent the last 3 years eyeing up for a world championship, and to come out of the Premier Series finals as the winner in the teen female division, it's just such a big win for Australia.
So congratulations in order for Millie. We just took a look at Grace Carr's run. Let's take a look at Kara McCarthy, who on that technicality is going to move from second to third. Still a podium, still going to get a medal after a spectacular run.
Yeah, and one of my favorite parts about her run was, first of all, the guts. She made the mistake the first time around, but still stuck to her gut there. But most importantly, just her strength. I don't know what it was about Kara, but on these slogies, she was just super strong. She was up there for so much longer than what she needed to be, but she looked so comfortable. And unfortunately, it was just a lack of retries, I think, that cost her there.
Yeah, I think she was out of retries once she had got to that obstacle. Let's take one full look at Grace Carr's run, because we mainly just looked at that 7th obstacle. There were other obstacles on this course, for the record.
Of course, and I'm just thinking about how people are going to try and use that technicality in the future, Alex, now that you've made it available to everyone to know about.
Oh no. I think we may need to institute a Grace Carr rule that you have to go above the starting platform, and simply going below it doesn't count.
I would love just to have a rule named after a competitor. That's when you know it's special. But Grace Carr, again, just throwing down such a great run. She really fought tooth and nail all through this course. And again, using both her retries, it's such a great addition to this format, because what it's allowed us to do is just create the most difficult courses we can fathom, and then have them so gassed to the point where by the end of it, she couldn't even climb up the rope because this course was so demanding.
And one last look at our championship winning run, Millie Baker taking home the gold for Australia. I do unfortunately have to alert you, Jack, that this is the last Australian competitor we're going to see today. But I mean, you went out with a bang with the championship.
Yeah, I think the US competitors will need to watch their back for next year. I think the Australians are going to be coming in full force now, seeing that there is potential, that it can be done from the Australian context. And I think knowing that there are so many high-level athletes in Australia, especially in the elite division, that could hopefully come through, that really excites me, and we're going to move through now.
Yeah, here's Zach Eichenstein with the podium.
Just a great point of celebration for our athletes.
I also love these flags that the competitors have been having.
Oh, it's just such an incredible event, and big props to all the individuals from the World Ninja League who have gone and just put so much effort into organizing this event. The medals look incredible. Just the competitors have this opportunity for representation, and it's such a big step forward for this sport.
Competitors catching some confetti as souvenirs to take home, or a little extra shot for Millie there. Well done. So with that, we sign off of the team female division. Our thanks, of course, to all our sponsors here. NinjaWorks, DGS, Ocean Needs Everyone, and Slapchalks. We are, as you can see, running about 45 minutes behind. We should be back in about 10 minutes' time to re-rack with the teen boys. And then after that, it's the Elite Division, Jack.
It's the big one. So everyone, please stay tuned. If you thought the teen female division was strong, it's only going to get bigger and better and more competitive as we move into these top-level divisions. And Alex, I think that's all I've got to say.
That's all I've got to say as well. We will see you in just a little bit for the teen boys. Head over to that live stream to catch the action.